Dallas has just been on a tear. I believe we can attribute that to Jason Robertson. Also, Jake Ottinger, who's really stepped in.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler. Hayward's absence for this game will be significant, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game turns into a blowout as of late.
The Golden Knights just can't pull it. I really think the Avalanche are determined this year.
They made so many moves and grabbed so many guys that they have to win a championship or at least make the finals. They were on our championship and bust.
The same self, the only year he won an MVP was the year he cheated, which really should put something against that MVP. But
yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
Hello, I am Ruby Ackerman, and you are listening to Outsider's Opinion with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. Training camp is just getting started, but I would say it's an awkward thing, even though I have seen the clip. Austin asked me if I'd seen quarterback. I currently don't have Netflix, so I have not watched it yet. Season 2, which has Kirk Cousins, but I did see he called Michael Penix once he was benched for Kirk Cousins, which was a really classy thing to do. But it is an awkward situation because they are paying him that much money to just sit on the bench.
$45 million a year for this season and 2 more after this. And I don't really think he's actually as bad as he looked at the end of the year. If you watch quarterback, he gets injured. He had a 13-3 touchdown to interception ratio over a 5-game stretch. The first little bit of the season, he really struggled because it's a new system. He was coming back from the Achilles tear, all that stuff. Then he goes through an amazing stretch. They get to a 6-3 record. Then he hurts his elbow against the Saints. And I don't blame him, or I don't blame the Falcons for benching him. Penix looks amazing. I still very much dislike the drafting of Penix if you're going to get Cousins. Or if you're going to draft Penix, don't sign Cousins. One of the two, right? I feel like that is extremely disingenuous to both sides. I think it kind of can set back the organization in a lot of ways. Now, if it was a 1-year deal to Kirk Cousins, then I like it. But it's a 4-year deal, right? So you're still going to be paying him $45 million a year this year, next year, and the year after that. So really, this is: is Kirk Cousins going to remain a Falcon for the rest of the season, or do we think he gets moved now, trade deadline, or are they not going to be able to move him?
Yeah, it's so weird because it's the 4-year deal. It's a high amount of money, and they didn't really tell him before. It's just weird, but I do think he does get traded because I just can't see. He is a good quarterback. It's just the price tag. But I wonder if the Falcons eat some money. But you can list them many quarterbacks where I'm like, I'd rather have Kirk Cousins right now. I would personally have Kirk Cousins rather than Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers. I think that would benefit their chances. You could put even the Saints, who are kind of in a weird moment with with Derek Carr retiring. So I think those are some teams. You could even do the Jets if they go on a hot start, and maybe someone gets injured. Like if the Rams lose Matthew Stafford, maybe they go and trade for Kirk Cousins for one more move. I would like to see Kirk Cousins with the Niners, but it's just hard with that contract. Because you can't just do a 1-year deal either. You can't just go fill in. So yeah, that you really can't trade for someone like the Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford could make sense because maybe he retires, but that length of contract really stinks. And the Falcons, of course, aren't going to cut him, but it does hamper them. But I do think he gets traded.
Do you think that'd be before the season starts or around the trade deadline?
I think it has to be during the season at the latest trade deadline.
I agree. I don't know if he gets traded. I'm not going to make an opinion one way or the other, but in the case that he gets traded, it will be near trade deadline after an injury. I think, let's say the Saints start out somehow 4-4 or 4-3 or something like that, and they're maybe competitive, right? And then the QB gets hurt, either Tyler Shalk or Spencer Rattler, or whoever it's going to start for them, Jake Haener. And they decide to call him up. Or if there's an injury, and maybe the Seahawks, right? The Seahawks have Kirk Cousins, or not Kirk Cousins. They have Sam Darnold, and they have Joe and Milroe, but maybe if Sam Darnold gets hurt, or if there's an injury in maybe the problem is the amount of years that are left, right? So I think another team that could be interesting is the Raiders because Geno's not on a long-term deal, like a long-term deal. I think it's only a 2-year deal, right?
Yeah, the Raiders could be a good one because it is a deal, and I do think they can get out of it easily.
Yes, 2 years, $75 million contract extension. It's extended through 2027. Oh, okay. So he's less money, but I think he's actually the same amount of time as Kirk Cousins. And like you said, you did bring up the Steelers. This is going to be Rodgers' last season, according to him. We'll see if that's actually the case. But I think they're going to wait to move Cousins until an injury happens. But it's going to have to take a lot of commitment. And I know for a fact that when he is traded, that the Falcons will have to eat some sort of money, or they're going to be or if they don't give up money, they're going to have to give up a pick with it, right? They'll give like a second or third round pick along with it so that the other team eats more of the contract.
Yeah, there's no way they get value back for what they spent with Kirk Cousins. So it's really just to get them off the team and help them with their cap. But it's just a lose-lose situation because I was excited to see Kirk Cousins return, and the Falcons were a good spot for him. It just didn't work out. So, yeah, we'll have to see. I'd be shocked if he goes the whole season just sitting on the bench.
I would also be pretty shocked.
So that kind of concludes just that awkward situation of does it end? But we'll have to see what happens. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.